We used deep research from ChatGPT to help us understand the market, both what the products are, what the competitors are, what the problems they're actually trying to solve is. Much better explained than any of them could do for us. We got a 30-page report and we went through it with them to say, we're just testing this out to see if it's valid. What do you think about it? And they were like, how do you know these things? This is deep industry understanding from people with 20 years experience. And we're just stupid marketers from the outside, never worked in the industry before. We know how to prompt and we know how to ask questions, but we had no idea on how the industry worked, what problems the clients had, why they would choose different types of vendors, what the decision hierarchy was, what people were working in it. We can extract that and get a very full understanding very, very quickly. So it helped us both understand the market. It helped us structure around all the issues that the client's customers faced. So we could take all that into account when creating the campaign to begin with, and not just take the one or two examples that one of the salespeople came with. We can take all 8 or 10 big reasons why people get into this market to try and buy that type of category product, and then create marketing around that. So it really helped us make more of a full picture marketing campaign very fastly and with a very deep understanding without having the understanding beforehand.
Okay. On today's show, we have a special guest, Malte Lange. Please, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, my name is Malte Lange. I have a business, marketing agency business. I've been doing marketing for the last almost 18 years, and I'm very deep into using AI, both in running my business, but also in delivering for our clients.
I have seen that you have a blend of engineering, information and communication technology, and a marketing expertise. How this approach shaped your B2B marketing in your company?
Yeah, thank you for the question. By trade, I'm an IT engineer, but I always liked advertising and marketing communication. So after doing the degree, I should have been a programmer and understand that whole field, but I got into marketing very early. I think what it has helped me do is structure things, both in the business sense and how we approach everything and how we produce things. And the second benefit, I think, is that I understand all the technical fields. So it's very easy to understand our clients when they have a very heavy B2B software technology production company. I really easily understand their product and how they should approach the market. So I've used the two to both run the company and also to help create the marketing plans and strategies.
I guess it helps to have engineering or background engineer, because you can see, you have a different perspective as well, right, when you're approaching marketing. So I guess that helps.
Yeah, it's a lot about how you structure it, how you approach it, how you make all these systems work together, all the automation. All that comes very easily and naturally for me. When I was studying back in time, 20 years ago, I wanted to do something with commercials, but there wasn't a lot of options for it. I could become an art director, but I didn't feel that was the type of thing that I should. It sounded too creative for me. I think there are much better options today, so I probably wouldn't become an IT engineer today if I had to choose over. Then I'd probably use a more strategic approach to marketing more specifically. But yeah, I still think it has helped me tremendously.
Nice. And you were known for your straight execution style. How does that translate in your day-to-day work with clients?
I really want them to run marketing as fast as possible when we meet them. I don't want to talk about it for 8 months before we run something. It actually created some problems for me in the beginning because I was all execution. I did the ads, I ran them, everything was perfect. I just forgot to talk to the clients afterwards and telling them that we were doing a good job and they were working. So some of them didn't know that the campaigns were actually performing really well because I was so much into the craft that I didn't see like the full picture of running an agency and talking to the client and saying, hey, it's actually working and here's the proof of it actually working. So yeah, I usually try to understand the company's needs very deeply on how we can best support them. So we also like help them in a lot of different ways. Some needs a lot of, others need only strategy, and someone needs that we do everything for them and they just get a report every 3 months. So it's also about adapting what we do, but I always focus on getting something out into the wild, running in front of a potential audience, because that's the only way we get data and that's the only way we can improve upon it and get smarter about how we could do our full marketing approach.
Yeah. Which tools do you use like for marketing, for digital marketing?
Which tools?
Yeah, like Meta ads or YouTube ads.
We do LinkedIn, Google, and Meta ads. So we use all those. We use a lot of different tools for meetings, for producing things, for researching. A couple of notable ones is, of course, Canva. I think everyone uses Canva in marketing these days. It was very experimental in the beginning, but it's become very full-fledged. We also do have like transcription services we use because all the meetings we have, all discussions we have with clients, everything can come into like an AI database where we can have all the information that we have gotten from our clients, everything that's been agreed upon, planned, all this, and we can always get back to it, even though you can't remember 6 months later what was actually agreed upon on some specific detail. Then you can approach it with AI. So that's really helpful especially in big projects with a lot of different people in the project doing it. Yeah, that's very helpful for us.
So let's just double down a little bit on that, on the tools that you use for transcribing meetings. So do you use a tool that will basically capture the insights and summarize that, or is just to create a transcript and then that transcript you just send it to another tool like an LLM, for example, to kind of like source that thing out? What can you tell a little bit of what is your process from the beginning? You have an interview or a meeting with a client, and then what happens with the data afterwards, just so we understand a little bit how that works.
We have a service that joins all the meetings if it's online automatically, and if it's in person, we record it on our computers. It transcribes the full meeting and creates all the action points for each person, so everyone don't have to remember what they should do afterwards. A side note is that we don't spend as much time taking notes in meetings. We can just be present and talk to them as long as we're ensured that it's being recorded, because all of it is there. Then we use the summary of the transcription to just remember what happened and the action points. But after that, we take the full transcription and add it to our database for the client that we're trying to do. And there's an AI agent talk about that afterwards. But we collect all the data we have from all meetings, all presentations, all PDFs, everything that's related to a client collected one place. So we can always ask AI to summarize how far along we are in a project, what hasn't been created, what we need to do, concerns that has been raised on the last meeting that hasn't been addressed, and things like that. So I think we're more full-fledged in covering everything instead of just the things we can remember. I think that's very helpful.
Yeah, super interesting. How are you personally using it right now in your business workflow that you couldn't do before? Maybe this is one example, I guess. Before AI, you wouldn't be able to, or at least before this recording tools that transcribe the whole thing, you wouldn't be able to do that. But apart from that, what else?
I think we're not doing a lot of things that we couldn't do, but we're doing them either better or more efficiently or in a lot less time. So for instance, the transcription part just makes it easier to, I don't think, maybe it has actually increased us remembering everything and not just the main points. Also 3 months on. So there's when there's some kind of non-clarity about what we're doing right now, we can always check all the data and see, okay, we've actually forgotten to make this, let's create that now. In regards to using AI in the full workflow, we've approached it like this. We have taken, before we started with anything with AI, earlier in the agency's history, before AI was out, we documented all processes on how we do things, both how we handle customers, how we talk to them, what we ask them, how we store things, how we create things, how we improve upon marketing. So all that was already created, like 250 points on this is different processes we do. So we still follow those, but what we did after AI came was take each of these and then look at it and see, can this be done by AI? Can it be improved on? Can it be done in a shorter time, or help us in some way? And if it can't, fair enough, we won't use the AI. But if in some way we can help, let's see how we can put it in. So I think we're still measuring on creating things to the same level as we did before, maybe even higher so. But we want AI to help us make it better or faster or something to the tune of that. My part of this is mostly talking to customers. It is creating strategies. It is making research, making first drafts, stuff like this. And I use AI to research, usually ChatGPT. I use Voice Inc. to help me transcribe what I want to say to someone if I want to write something, because it can both transcribe directly what I'm saying and clean it up directly before it's pasting it. So it's very, very efficient for creating good notes very fast. But it can also be implemented to take what you're saying to it and then handle it in ChatGPT or something else, and then you get a response back that you can use. So it helps with email as well, for example. We use AI for analyzing data in our reporting. Helps us get a cleaner picture of, we can all read the data, we understand the data, but getting someone to read all of the data is very energy and time efficient for us, because then we can focus on what really needs to be done something about. We use AI for creating content, for creating plans. We use it for cutting out videos. All our webinars go through Opus to make short clips that we can post. We use it to automatically put subtitles on our short videos, whether they are full production or if they're a cell phone in your face while you're walking on the streets of Copenhagen. So we use it for, I still feel we use it for a lot of things, but a lot is not being handled yet. And I think it's probably where most people are with this. So we would like to use it even more, absolutely, because we can see what we're getting back. A shocking thing to me was that when we know how to create the ads, we know what to ask the client, we know how to structure the process to make effective marketing. But what we could do with AI was we could take all the information we had on how to do it. Then we can take all our discussions with the client, we could take research we could get from the internet, we could take meeting transcriptions, and then we could get AI to create first drafts of advertising regarding to our rules on how it should be created. And the first draft is better than 8 out of 10 people I've worked with first drafts of marketing campaigns. That in itself is shocking. I think it will, if it hasn't already started to, it will disrupt marketing as an industry, because, and this is a rough one to say, a lot of marketing juniors will be absolutely obsolete or already obsolete if you're using AI correctly. And that's, I don't know if I should celebrate because I own an agency or this is really horrible, because it is a big change. That's for sure. Because AI, you can say that it's not as creative or it can't do a lot of things, but if you know how you want to create it, if you have all the rules in place on how you want it to act, and then giving it the full information about everything that the client wanted, everything that we've agreed upon, everything in related to what's new in the industry, and then draft campaigns instead of trying to draft it from, I've just read one page on the website, then I'm going to do an ad. it's much better what the AI creates. And then you can put your human touch to it and make it less artificial.
I think what you touched upon there is the paradox that we're living right now, because you need to have juniors to set up to be groomed until they get experience to be able to actually take over the next generation of marketing. So if all of a sudden AI is taking these people out of the job market, what happens then? Because we're gonna be out of the market at some point. Gonna retire, and then who is gonna take over? And then, like you said, the experience used in AI gives you a huge advantage because you already know what you want. But if you're starting out, you need to figure it out. You need to learn how to get to a point where you know what you want, and that comes with experience. And so it's a bit of a paradox, and it's scary that this is going so fast, and then we're not be able to react, and nobody knows what's going to happen.
No, absolutely not. I think for the next year or two, maybe we have an upside because we have all the knowledge, we know how to do it, and we can just prompt it and use it and do it in shorter period of time. But for a longer period ahead of time, I think we will get a problem because juniors can't create it, even though AI can do it for them if they know what to prompt it. I don't think a lot of prompt templates will help them or save them if they don't have the necessary understanding of what is B2B marketing and how do you do it and how do you approach this type of client and this type of market. That comes from experience. But so there's a large upside for people with experience at the moment. But what happens in 5 or 10 years, I'm not sure of.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like it's, I think this paradox is something crazy, and we always discuss about how we curate things. We create with our expertise and everything. So AI gave us a good answer, and we are the ones who decide which needs to be refined or redone and stuff like that. So I think it's exactly aligned with what we believe and we discuss here in the podcast.
In the short term, I think each of us need to deliver what 5 people delivered beforehand, just to be not right now, but very shortly, because when you use it to its full potential, you can just deliver more faster. That can create other problems in regards to stress and burnout, because if you're doing the work of 5 people with support from AI, if something breaks, then it really breaks for you. But I think marketing is changing in that direction. That we need to do more with what we have and deliver much more for clients. I don't think the demand is there from the clients yet. I haven't had a lot of questions of, hey, can we use AI for this or that? That's actually not. That's actually a bit rare. I think we're talking more about it than our clients are doing, but we can see that it's sneaking up. They're trying to use it themselves, and I made this research. Can we use this? And so they're using it, but they're not like demanding that we use it on the other end, even though it's being implemented everywhere.
Yeah. And can you walk us through like a specific example where AI helped you to crack this, marketing problem, or maybe something involving LinkedIn ads or any campaign that you have tested?
We did a very interesting project for a company because they had a very, very niche type product in a very fragmented industry. And we used deep research from ChatGPT to help us understand the market, both what the products are, what the competitors are, what the problems they're actually trying to solve is. Much better explained than any of them could do for us. We got a 30-page report and we went through it with them to say, we're just testing this out to see if it's valid. What do you think about it? And they're like, how do you know these things? This is deep industry understanding from people with 20 years experience. And we're just stupid marketers from the outside, never worked in the industry before. We know how to prompt and we know how to ask questions, but we had no idea on how the industry worked, what problems the clients had, why they would choose different types of vendors, what the decision hierarchy was, what people were working in it. We can extract that and get a very, very full understanding very, very quickly. So it helped us both understand the market. It helped us structure around all the issues that the clients' customers faced. So we could take all that into account when creating the campaign to begin with, and not just take the one or two examples that one of the salespeople came with. We could take all 8 or 10 big reasons why people get into this market to try and buy that type of category product, and then create marketing around that. So it really helped us make more of a full picture marketing campaign very fastly and very with very deep understanding without having the understanding beforehand.
Okay.
So it made for some interesting conversations with the clients, because they were like, "How do you know this?" I said, "I'm sorry, but it's out there and it's in a database that everyone can get right now." And they're like, "Okay."
Can you
happy but also scared?
Yes. Can you walk us through a little bit how which tool did you use to extract to get that information, and what was the process there, and if you can disclose which industry was, just so we have an understanding and a little bit of the context.
Yeah, it's I can do a little bit about the industry. It's in robots, and it's about production, and their clients are worldwide. So it's very, very large market to approach. There are a lot of competitors. There's a lot of difference in what each vendor can present in their product, and the clients have no idea what the difference is from each of the vendors. They can just see, we're trying to approach this problem. How can you handle it? The way we approach deep research is actually we get AI to help us write the prompts. So we have all the discussions. We have a discussion first with the client saying, what is that you actually need to know something about, or what do you know already about the industry that we can use as input. So maybe we have an hour discussion on what they know and want to be more clear on. Then we have AI help us draft a prompt on how to best approach doing a deep research project on this, and then we have our own framework for what do we need to have in a marketing research perspective and report. What kind of questions, what are the fields we want to ask about, and all this. And usually when we do a deep research project, we do it 2 or 3 times with increased understanding of what we're doing. So maybe we get all the first data, and then we're like, okay, we don't understand enough about decision hierarchies, or how people are choosing partners they work with, or how the industry is getting, how they are approaching marketing and stuff like this. And then we can do another project for each of these until we have more like a full understanding of everything we want to know about the market. So in the beginning, I tried to draft the prompts myself. I've actually quit that more or less. I'm always trying to get AI to help me make the prompts for me, because I actually believe they can probably do a better job as long as I know what I want and can ask questions on it. That also makes it easy to save for later, because then we have created something that's in a structure that the GPT actually likes instead of the questions we can answer.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then it's also really good at asking questions back on, is it this or is it that? Do you want this or like that? And there's a lot of qualifying questions before it actually creates it. But yeah, it's been really helpful. We've done it for a handful of clients now. Each time we've gotten a way bigger understanding of the market, and also more deep understanding, so that there's not just like the surface knowledge, there's also all the things beneath that they know, but that the marketing agency don't, and suddenly we know them too.
And I think that's the challenge, isn't it, for marketing right now, because I feel that internal marketing became some kind of a trend. So people are doing their own marketing. They're starting themselves, the owners, even the employees. They are doing their own marketing. So I think as deep as you go in the industry is better for you and for the client, isn't it? So it makes a lot of sense to you.
Yeah, because sometimes we can unlock a better understanding on what is it that we actually need to talk about, because sometimes we have these 8 features. Yeah, sure, but the problem you're trying to solve is this one, and why do they have this problem? Then we can get all the reasons for that, and they're like, oh yeah, that's right, but they'll never tell us. They'll never think about it, because it's so obvious to them, but you can't put it in a campaign if it's obvious to them and you don't know it. So, so yeah, it's more full-fledged, I think.
How about how long does it usually take to do this research compared to how long would it take if you would have to do it, let's say, without AI?
Probably 90% less time. So that in itself is crazy, because we can of course make a lot of money on it, or we can create it for clients who previously wouldn't have been able to purchase that type of work. And there's also something in marketing about figuring out how should we price this in the future. We've already started discussing it, because maybe we can do it very fast, but it could also be because we are using our knowledge to do it. And yeah, maybe hourly isn't the perfect way to invoice everything.
So you're considering,
but yeah,
you're considering selling that as a service, like all the deep.
We're already using it in our services. We're totally open on how we do it, so that it's not like we're trying to pass it off as we have someone calling the entire world trying to research this. We say we are using AI, and then we'll do some manual work afterwards to verify that this looks true, and then we go through it with the client to ensure that it looks right. But yeah, at the moment I think it's 95% perfect. It's really good what it comes out of it, if you know what to ask for of it, because it can get so much information on those 30 minutes for deep research that it's absolutely crazy. It's 3 months work if you want to do it manually, so maybe it's more than 90% time saved. I think we do some time on verifying and checking all the information that probably wouldn't have been part of it else. So maybe it's 90%, but yeah, a lot less time.
That makes a lot of sense, and especially because you were in the market for longer, so you do understand what you need to be done. So
yeah,
it's really nice to have this to have your experience, that you were sharing with us.
I'm happy to.
And when it comes to planning against doing, where do you think like AI fits best right now, like in the market field?
I think it's really good at researching, planning, strategizing, but it's creeping in on the doing as well. I don't think it necessarily makes everything picture perfect to just launch, but it takes away a lot of the laborious doing. Both in producing and writing first drafts and second drafts and third drafts. A lot of the tools we use and run advertising on, like LinkedIn and Google, is also implementing AI on their end. So we are also using their AI, although more seamlessly. We more compare results from, if we do it manually or if we use their AI, how can we see if which works better for us? And for a lot of clients, the AI part is getting better and better. I remember some of the first automated things we had on, especially on Google. I've been running ads on Google since 2007. The first automated ones were horrible. They were just throwing away money, never generating results. But when we try things today where it actually uses it, I think 6 or 7 times out of 10, it performs better than the manual ones, and that in itself is pretty crazy, because it didn't happen like that before. So I think the machines, if we're going to call them that, has gotten more understanding from all the AI databases and information to actually make better decisions. So yeah, I think it comes down to, in marketing, it'll be much more about understanding the client and creating better content that actually suits the need more than its delivery, where before it was just more a delivery type thing, maybe.
Since we're talking about, let's say machines delivering a really good result, right, end result, I guess you heard that the plan for 2026 for Meta is to automate all the campaigns for, And I guess at least to my understanding, they want to basically automate the whole process. So you just tell them what you need, what is the problem you're trying to solve, and then they will create everything. Change with the copy, the visuals. Of course, I would assume you have to have a brand kit uploaded or something. What is your take on that? Because we think it's crazy. It's basically it's going to disrupt the whole industry, especially because they are a monopoly, right? They are one of the biggest players together with Google. So what do you think about that?
I'm always cautiously pessimistic. Let's say everyone gets fully automated, total black box marketing, and we're 10 businesses selling the same thing. We can't all get good results. So something will happen where it won't help to just stuff more money into Meta. So there will be some other way to try and distinguish ourselves. And then the race will be there instead. Because if everyone gets a perfect website, everyone gets a perfect ad, everyone gets perfect campaigns, then we're at the same point as we are now, status quo. So then we need a new differentiator. So yeah, maybe they will succeed, but then the goalpost will just change for marketers, because what can we do then? How can we supplement? What can we do on other channels? Is there a way to disrupt what's going to work for other people? And yeah, I think the goalpost will just move. In the beginning, it'll be very easy, and it'll be great for everyone which uses it, because it's so easy now. Yeah, but if it's easy for everyone, then it's gone. In my opinion.
I think there's yeah, no, I agree totally with you, because in the beginning, probably people like do a lot of money, but then it's standardized so much, as I said. So human creativity will win in the end, isn't it?
It will be necessary to use it to win. I think people who will just follow along will lose, as they always will. In the beginning it'll work, and then it'll be diminishing returns and less results for the money. You can see now with a lot of the founder-led marketing, with the content marketing, with more like UGC type videos, it's already a reaction to everybody can look polished and great, but we are still craving some type of human connection. So yeah, we can't just copy what the other guys are doing personally, because then it won't be us. So yeah, I think the goalpost will just move.
There's this famous phrase in branding that is, when everybody zigs, you zag, right? Because then that's the way to differentiate yourself. But you're not going to repeat at what everyone is doing. That's a really good interest. I really like your point of view, and in regards to how, if everybody's going to do the same and it's going to automate the whole process, then you will have to differentiate yourself somehow, because everybody's going to is going to be on the same level.
Yeah, and the next one is if everyone can get it, because in B2B there's a lot of companies who's been completely sales-led, who isn't doing very much marketing. If everyone suddenly is doing marketing, the prices on all the platform will skyrocket, and that will deselect someone from being able to do it. So yeah, it's always good to have a lot of money and cash flow in the business, because it'll help when things get more expensive. So there's another way to lose. If you're not ahead of the curve and you just do it last, then it'll be at the 10 times price as everyone else, and then you're done.
How do you use AI to enhance creativity on a strategic level?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually pondered it the other day, because we always feel that we are really creative when we do something. And this is a great idea. But usually you only have one or two ideas. But with AI, you can get as many as you want. And if you don't like the idea you have, you can make it challenge it, make it come with other suggestions, try and take it in another direction. So I think what AI really does in creativity is make sure that you've been taking it for the full spin and not just running with one idea you have. Maybe that one idea can be a genius and really good and work, especially in B2B. We had Volvo doing a commercial with Jean-Claude Van Damme standing in split between two cars, two trucks. Most people wouldn't have that idea. and AI will probably not give it to you. But I think there's a very large set of marketers who are not in the super Olympic elite on creating the greatest ads in the entire world, but just starting to consider 20 options instead of one when creating an ad will probably help a lot of people be more creative by using synthetic data from AI, which is not creative at all, but it has all the ideas beforehand. So it does. Have you considered all these? Like, no, I haven't. Maybe that's a good idea. So yeah, I think it can actually help a lot if you know how to use it. If we just run with the first suggestion it has, then it'll probably be a lot less creative because it is synthetic, and it'll suggest the same approach for a lot of different types of businesses, even though it may not be the best one. But using it as like a coach or a mentor on see how what else should I think about? What else could I, from my research that I created, what kind of other approaches should I have to making this ad? It's like, you haven't even considered these 5 options. Oh, you're right. That's annoying, but you're right. Let's try and consider those as well.
So it kind of
so forced creativity could be a word.
it kind of let's say lay all the cards for you, and then your expertise combined with the strategy and then what you want, or what would you like to which direction you would like to go, and then you just pick the card yourself, basically, right? Yeah. But it exposes more because it has access to all that data that you would, if you will have to manually go through, it would just take forever.
Yeah, and also if you're switching in a large agency where an assignment can switch between 3 or 4 different people during a very short period of time, they can all have access to all data all the time, instead of one person needing to tell the next one, needing to tell the next one, needing to tell the next one, and most of it will be lost. So yeah, maybe it could actually be easier to manage bigger projects with more people because we can have everything collected.
Hey everyone, we noticed that a lot of people watching on YouTube are not subscribers. So it would help us a lot if you will click on the subscribe button down below. And for those who are listening to this episode, because we're also a podcast and we're everywhere, please leave us a review. It helps a lot to share our content and to multiply the audience, and we really appreciate it. It doesn't cost anything, it's free. Please leave us a review. Thank you.
Do you use any generative image or video tools? Do you use this kind of AI tools?
No, we actually don't. We use it a little bit, but we rarely use it for full image or video generation. We use AI to fix an image or remove things or stuff like this, like typical Photoshop work. But total creation, I still feel, is not good enough and not personal enough on most of what I've seen. I still personally don't like it when I can see that it's complete AI, the image. I don't like the ad. If I can't see that it's AI and AI has been used, then it's all good. But as soon as I can see that, oh, this is generated by ChatGPT, I hate the ad. And that's interesting. Not because the messaging is wrong, not because the image doesn't fit, but you can just,
there's something off.
There's still something missing. Yeah, there's still something missing from this. And I know that advertising isn't a field where we just use unedited images at all. It has always been edited, but this complete generated stuff, I don't think it's very good yet. Even though it looks more and more real, it's not just. It's just not real.
Can you walk us a little bit through your process of creating the ads in specific? How do you're still like you have creatives on your team? Do you outsource that? How does that work?
A lot of it we create in-house for our clients, and we also have clients where they create a lot of it themselves, where we are more like strategic partners on you need to create something with this, so you need to change this, and then they do it themselves. Usually it's with a real video or with images taken specifically by the client or for the client, and then we set it up in Canva or wherever it is needed. We also create it in some of Adobe's programs. But we had a great example of a case where AI can be really helpful, because they had a lot of images from a production facility, but they had some rules they had to adhere to. There couldn't be any text on any image from the production facility, because it was owned by another company. They could use the pictures, but if there was any text, whichever type, then they couldn't use it. And there we can use AI to remove it. very easily, and not we can both identify the text through AI, but we can also say blur this or remove it entirely because it's not relevant for the image. Where that would have been on just a Photoshop task for 10 hours beforehand, now it's a 30-minute process for a large amount of images. So in changing images, there's a lot of help now where we don't need as much expertise or specialty work from a graphics designer. But we still use graphics designers as well if you want to create something from scratch, because I still think they do 100 times better job than AI does. I think a lot of the minute tasks or things that are laborious or time-consuming, AI is really good for that and should be used for that. But I'm also always amazed. We have a creative designer we use when we want to do something really nice, and she's so good. She's so good at it, and I haven't seen AI even close in on doing it 10% of her level, because she embodies the company, she embodies the vision, what's going to happen, and the format and where we're going to place it on the internet or on a website or on a poster. There's an understanding there that I haven't seen at all from any of the image generating things, and not from any of the. There's several services I've tested out who creates ads from a brand kit or from your website or from describing something, and I still think they're actually pretty bad, most of them. Even when you see their own advertising, it looks great, but when you try to use it for a client, it's like, this is not. No. It's not. It doesn't work yet.
I think Canva, they have this tool, isn't it? You can create your brand kit, but it doesn't look like that good as you said. Like it's not full potential, I believe.
No, the brand kit is really good if you want to set up your own image, if you want to do text, pull things in, all this. It's really helpful there. But from generating from scratch, maybe we're just poor at prompting image generation, but I'm still not impressed by that part of it in marketing, at least.
And it's also, there's especially for graphic design, where you have to understand about different illustration, like art direction as well. You need to understand for a bit of a photography. You need to understand different types of illustration, different art styles, graphic styles, and then, of course, that helps. If you have all that knowledge, it helps you to prompt. But on the other hand, I think those tools, they're all kind of striving to get the perfect realism pictures. And I think those are becoming really, really good. So basically, if you want to use a photography style, you can get closer to what would be a photographer photo shoot. But if you want to go with another route, like I want to use illustration because all my clients' internal identity is all through this watercolor illustration, and then pitch that to an AI, try to prompt that on an AI image generation tool. It's really not. It's not good. It's not going to get the same essence yet. Maybe we're going to get there. But because these things are like, if you, we joke here in this podcast that we measure video evolution. Generative video generation, generative video AI by how Will Smith eat pasta, because like 1.5 years ago it was terrible, but now it's all super realistic, right? So he gets the physics and the motion of the pasta and stuff, but still, right? So we're getting there, but for photorealism. All the other, but there's like a huge range of different styles that we need to take into account.
Absolutely.
And even if you use, for example, like a Ghibli style, where there's the copyright issues, isn't it? So there's always this balance between copyright and something new. So it's hard to have a completely full new thing. So it's always referencing something that is already exists. So I think you cannot use like a Ghibli style picture in an advertisement. So it kind of makes sense to not use AI in this sense.
I think they're getting close to it in fashion, where they can create fake models and they can apply the clothes to them and make it real. I'm unsure how the fits of the clothing, if it's right, and I haven't tried to buy from one of these ads yet. But I think it looks like they're getting really close to just being able to completely generate all of it. And that'll probably do some things in in photo and modeling as well, because what about all the people behind and in front of the camera from before?
Yeah,
So that'll probably make a big change there as well.
Yeah, Zalando apparently already started doing that. They hire it was a photography agency. Of course, they had all the expertise, but they are basically doing digital twins of the models, and then they sell that service, and then they can basically do Zalando marketing at scale, right? Because I think that's their. So instead of using 2 months, they would do it in a couple of days. The same photo shoot with different. How many products are we talking about? So it just probably takes like, I don't know, they have to photograph 40 or 50 different pieces of clothes, or even more, 100 to 200. So you have to, I mean, I understand that, but what is the impact, right? All of a sudden you used to have a team of 20 and now you have a team of 3. So what happens with the 17 people that are just part of this? So it's highly disruptive, and I think we'll need to address that disruption anytime soon.
Yeah, it's like the Industrial Revolution, going from everything being man-made to machines doing things, and that also made a lot of people obsolete. And I think the change this time around is that it's probably faster and it's more widespread, so the effect is even bigger. And people being, you have to be interested in changing up your life if you're in one of the affected industries, because it'll be fast. And businesses can always count on one thing, in that they will prioritize doing it cheaper and better and faster, regardless of the human cost, if it just means less jobs. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree. And talking about that, like, do you have any tip, like, for creatives and agencies that are listening to us? Like, any practical tip or tool that you recommend for starting to use AI in a daily work?
I will actually plug Voice Inc. I'm not getting sponsored or anything. I've used it a lot in the first month or two I've had it, because it can, instead of I have to write everything, I know writing on a keyboard is usually faster, but when I create ideas or like go through something, my voices and thinking is much better that way, and it can really collect the things you're saying, but still making it very plain in any language, write it up nicely so you can send it or save it or do something with it. So I think voicing is really helpful, not just for marketing, of course, but there's so many things you can use it for, in meetings, in content, in emails, in creating campaigns. It integrates into your computer, so it can see what's on your screen, so it has contextual understanding of what you're doing. It can read what's on there, and you can prompt it, and you can automatically add ChatGPT or some other type of AI to it, and all that works together seamlessly from you just pressing a button, and you get text out very easily and very much in sync with what you're saying. It's really helpful. So
Nice.
I think that's a great way to do something that's rather easy to implement, but has a large impact on how I work, more than any other tool I think I've added to our agency over the last couple of years.
Voice Inc.
Voice Inc.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a one-time.
okay.
Yeah, it's Voice Inc. I think it's just a one-time theme to use it fully. It's a young guy. He's probably vibe coding it, but he's doing a really good job. So maybe we all get hacked sooner or later, but it works really well. Takes a day or two to set up and understand how it works, and then it's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yes, I saw a guy that he was using like a collar, and then there was a small pin on it, and it was already connected to his phone, so everything that he's saying or having meetings, it was recording and being transcribed in a notes on the iPhone.
Yeah.
So that's really amazing. Like it's kind of similar to what you were saying.
Yeah, I saw that one as well, and wondered if I should buy it, and then I remembered my Apple Watch also has voice memos you can record on, so you can record on that.
That's
After
true.
the meeting, it's in your phone, you can send it to a transcription service, and there you have it without buying new tools. So I think there's a lot of way of handle each of these ideas or problems. Sometimes it's just wondering, how can I use what I already have to do exactly that without buying new software. But I think a lot of new software will come out that can help with a lot of different things. I think there's already a lot of competitors to VoiceInc as well. I think it has been a game changer for us, recording everything and having it transcribed and then use it as knowledge over time. We have clients with large databases of information, and we can really handle them well in an agency type situation, because we have a lot of different people we talk to, a lot of different people are engaged. So there's a lot of information floating around, but everyone has access to it now.
We're approaching the end of the episode, so I would like to, there's two more questions that we would like to ask you. One of them is just basic, both of them are kind of looking ahead, like looking into the near future, because things are moving so fast we shouldn't think about 5 years, maybe 1 or 2. So what do you think the role of AI in B2B market will be in 1 or 2 years from now? And what should marketeers be preparing for when this new time arrives?
I think the first thing is that the level at which most people create B2B marketing has just been raised, or the ability to create 80% perfect type marketing has just moved for everyone, because a lot of people starting out creates then we create posts on we got cake in the cantina today and it was great, and also we're at this fair, come visit us. But the ground level on what you can create with AI has made it absolutely available for everyone to create great ads very cheaply, very fastly, and I think the first thing is that everyone needs to be aware of that. And when people have realized that, the next one is, okay, who can utilize it better, who can do something that's different from this. But most people will have great or okay ads very shortly if there's something they prioritize. And I think that'll be a game changer for a lot of people, because I think a lot of B2B companies don't have a lot of competitors who are good at it. If they're market leaders, suddenly they have 200 competitors who can all create good ads. And that will change something if you're not trying to improve upon how you're approaching it. The second one is one thing we touched upon earlier, that I think each marketer has to deliver the work of 5 or 10 people within a year or two. I really believe it. And it's not being asked for by the clients. They don't say that you have to deliver more work for the same price, but it'll be a reality, because all the other agencies can deliver 10 times as much at the same price, using less time from their people than you can if you're not using it. So you will be killed as an agency or a marketing team if you don't utilize it, I think.
Yeah. And another and final question, it's what excites you most, and what concerns you most about AI grows in the marketing world?
I'm also always fascinated by new technology and things you can do. So a part of me is really fascinated that we can do a lot of things. I'm really impressed with what we can get out of it already. I still think we are early in AI, even though everyone's talking about it, but I don't think most people are using it that well. So I think we can create more, better and faster type marketing for a lot of people. What concerns me is that if everyone just creates the same thing from the same inputs, then it'll be really boring again, because everyone creates the same things. And of course, the industry as a whole is seeing a problem in regards to the people who are going in for jobs, who are new in the market, who want to get their experience, because I think a lot of agencies are not hiring a lot of talent right now, because AI can do a lot of what the new talent can, maybe even so better, and maybe it'll totally kick the industry in the ass later on. But yeah, businesses will always try to optimize. So I think if I should make a suggestion for people starting out in marketing, it would be to really understand, one, AI, but second one, really understand marketing. Going old school in understanding how do you influence people, how do you make people think different things, how do you persuade them, how do you make them do something. the whole psychology understanding of what you're trying to do with marketing is just as important. So if you only know AI, then you won't be able to do very much in marketing if you don't have specialists around you. If you want to be more complete in it, I think you need both skill sets.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end. Well put it. Awesome.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Before we finish, do you want to share your website or LinkedIn so people can connect?
Yeah, sure. Our website is leadyourway.dk. It's only in Danish at the moment, but you can probably get AI to translate it if you want it in English. We do a lot of webinars and post information on LinkedIn, B2B marketing, how to do marketing in general. So you're more than welcome to get those free resources, and you're very much welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search for my name, and I'll probably pop up with an AI-generated image.
Ma, thanks for being with us here, and I think we had a really interesting conversation. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. It's free and helps us a lot. This way, it can help us also reach new listeners. Oh, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform to stay up to date on our latest episodes. If you have any questions for us, reach out to us at hello@humanAIXP.com or connect with us on Instagram. Thanks for listening. See you next week.